really is all your fault. They're not going to get a first-round pick, are they?
Nemanja Nedovic. It's his fault as well. So
okay,
I'm not the only one.
You're all right.
Yeah.
You get to share a little of it.
Yes, I get to share. Yeah.
Let's start off just talking about free agency before we get to the draft, right? Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, both now free agents. What does that tell you about the change that's going on in the NBA and also about the economics of the business?
Well, you go through different trends throughout different generations of the NBA, and you know, you had it where one guy would be in one city with one team for the duration of their career, where now we're in a, you know, it's a different mode where, you know, with the salary cap, the CBA, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of player transactions. Teams are always vying for positions to move up to try to win the championships. It's all or nothing at times, and you make a lot of splash or make headlines with some moves. So you're in a situation where you have two guys who could possibly make huge impacts on other teams.
Where do you think they're going to go? Have any idea?
If I had to guess, LeBron goes back.
Goes back to Miami?
Yeah, he's been to the finals 4 times. You know, that's only been done 3 times in NBA history. And Carmelo, you know, that's an interesting case. You know, he wants to win a championship. You know, with the new age social media, there's more pressure on players to perform, not just statistically, but in the wins column and how many rings you have. So I'm sure that's the priority on his list.
Now, you mentioned just a moment ago, you mentioned this idea of obviously free agents and players staying with specific teams. Mm-hmm. You wanted to play specifically for the Golden State Warriors. You wanted to be near Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Well, it was a combination of things. Silicon Valley was a big influence. I've been able to make a lot of contacts and network with the right people who have given me a lot of knowledge.
Ben Horowitz, yes. Right, of Andreessen Horowitz,
yes,
right?
Yes, and Jeff Jordan. They've been really instrumental in me gaining the knowledge that I need to attain to have a life after basketball. Because, you know,
there is a life
yes,
after basketball,
yes, yes. Father Time is undefeated. And athletes have to realize that life doesn't stop at 35, 36. And, you know, I'm really interested in putting the same type of work in, the same type of hours in, and conquered life after basketball.
Well, you'd like to own maybe a basketball team yourself, right?
Yes, but it's going to take a lot of dollars. So with the way teams are being evaluated, you've seen the Clippers just got sold for $2 billion. You know, Michael Jordan's a billionaire now based on the Clippers evaluation. So ready to put the work in, start the business, and that'll be the ultimate goal.
Talk a little bit about the Los Angeles Clippers, and in fact, you were, the Golden State Warriors were the opposing team at the game that was really the centerpiece of the dispute after the comments by Donald Sterling that have led to the fight to then sell the team.
Well, I think it's a testament to the players to be able to look past one person's opinions and views upon you know, a race or people, and look past that and give ultimately our fans what they pay to see, because without them, you know, we're not put on this flat platform to be able to show our talents, and the NBA doesn't exist. You don't have these enormous valuations for these teams, and you put $12 million into the team and then he sells it for $2 billion. That's an incredible investment. You don't see that, you know, centuries, you know. We're going to continue to play for our fans. We're going to continue to raise the level of play, and you know, we want to be known as the best sport in the world.
Watching a team like the New York Knicks has been frustrating for many years. Phil Jackson now taken over, new coach. What do you think of their chances? And then who replaces the coach from the Knicks at the NBA Union, the Players Union?
Well, you have a guy in Phil Jackson whose body of work is tremendous. You know, he has 9 rings. Or no, he might have more than 9. I think he has 11. He has 11 rings. I've read his book. And he's also won as a player. So that's 12 rings. So he has a body of work that says he's successful. He has the blueprint on building a successful franchise, and just at a different level. And I'm pretty sure he'll be coaching through Derek Fisher. And as far as our union, we just had meetings 2 days ago interviewing candidates. We have another.
Would you be interested maybe in taking over as president of the union? You're already vice president.
I'm not ready for that role yet, but I've had the opportunity to learn the ins and outs. We have some amazing people advisors and counsel helping us to make the decision from the outside, and they've come on board, and they've been an addition to helping us get to where we want to be as a union.
Do you have any thoughts on who you would like to see as executive director?
We know we want somebody who's well-versed in negotiations, but also unifying players. You look at sports and you look at baseball players, the MLB has done a great job of really coming together as a union, and they're able to dictate their own future as opposed to Major League Baseball and the owners telling them exactly what they want them to do.
Let's talk about players because we got the NBA draft. Let's start with Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins, probably the highest ceiling as far as potential and talent. If he's to become the player everyone expects of him, he'll be the best player in the draft. He'll be the superstar. He'll have the endorsements. He'll be on the Wheaties boxes. But in terms of who's ready right now, you got Jabari Parker. I compare him to Carmelo Anthony. The impact he'll be able to have on the floor. He has a high ceiling as well. So you got some guys who have the opportunity to take the torch and take it into the next decade or so.
Would you have any guidance or thoughts for both of those players as they come into the NBA? What would you say to them?
I spoke to them today, actually.
Okay, what'd you say?
Those two in particular, I said, there's a lot of pressure on you guys. You got to perform at a certain level. It's not like it was 15 or even 5 years ago with social media and the pressure, and the fans actually weigh in on the game more than ever with the social media. So the first thing you want to do is enjoy the game and respect the essence of the game of basketball. When you put the work in and you treat the game with respect, it always repays you. You reap what you sow. We've all come from humble beginnings. Your families are in an awesome position to really embrace all the goals that you reach for yourself. So just enjoy the game.
Joe Lacob of the Golden State Warriors. You've mentioned that he's helped in as many ways be a mentor in the world of business and so on. You think there's that trend that the owners, that the managers, they're going to take more of an active role in having those conversations with players?
I think they're doing it. Owners are fans now, and they're really active with transactions, with personnel hirings. So you got to have a good balance with that, because sometimes the person that's been playing the game longer might have a little bit more expertise, but without their knowledge and the hard work they put in, they wouldn't be able to attain the team. So there's a good balance there. I think we're heading in the right direction to try to win a championship.
Is there one particular thing that we don't know about Andre Iguodala that maybe you want to share with us that you carry around with you that you don't get asked often?
I downloaded a book in the club in Miami last week, and I shocked myself because I don't go out, don't drink. I'm pretty plain Jane. I'm interesting, but as far as
what was the
typical
book?
Basketball player, it's called Quiet.
Quiet.
Exploring introverts and extroverts. I'm getting to really understand the difference of the two and which one I am.
Which one are you? Do you have
There's two types of introverts. So I think I'm an introvert, but with society and the way it is now, you always have to pitch, you always have to sell yourself. And that's what the part of the draft is. The draft is basically this big hype machine of, the next Michael Jordan. And it's these pitches you got to pitch yourself, and you got to exert a confidence about yourself to these teams, so they invest, a lot of money into you.